This one is a doozy. Minnesota State Patrol destroyed texts, emails after riot response. Minnesota State Patrol officers conducted a mass purge of emails and text messages immediately after the response to riots last summer, leaving holes in their paper trail as the courts and other investigators attempt to reconstruct whether law enforcement used improper force in the chaos following George Floyd's murder. In a recent court hearing in a lawsuit alleging the State Patrol targeted journalists during the unrest, State Patrol MAJ Joseph Dwyer said he and a vast majority of the agency deleted the communiques after the riots, according to a transcript published to the federal court docket Friday night. This file destruction makes it nearly impossible to track the State Patrol's behavior, apparently by design, said attorneys for Minnesota's chapter of the ACLU, which is suing the State Patrol and Minneapolis police on behalf of journalists who say they were assaulted by law enforcement while covering the protests and riots. The purge was neither accidental, automated, nor routine, said ACLU attorneys in a court motion that asked the judge to order the State Patrol to cease attacks on journalists who are covering protests. The purge did not happen because of a file destruction or retention policy. No one reviewed the purged communications before they were deleted to determine whether the materials were relevant to the litigation. State Patrol spokesman Bruce Gordon said officers follow all state and agency data retention requirements. We are unable to comment further due to the ongoing litigation. Isn't that interesting? Just can't do it. Yeah, I would love to talk about how we destroyed all the files, but I can't because we destroyed the files and are now getting sued by it. Again, I would love... if I could tell you about when I destroyed these files, I would love to. I'd write a book about it. I'd write a musical about it. Unfortunately, I destroyed the files, so I can't talk to you about destroying the files, unfortunately. What the fuck? The suit filed on June 3, 2020, alleges that the Minneapolis Police Department and the State Patrol used unnecessary and excessive force to suppress First Amendment rights to cover the unrest last summer. It is one of the several lawsuits filed against law enforcement for alleged constitutional violations in the use of force last summer. The lead plaintiff, Jared Goyette, a freelancer who covered the unrest for the Washington Post and Guardian, was shot in the face with a less lethal, quote-unquote, less lethal ballistic ammunition by Minneapolis police on May 27. According to the lawsuit, the suit cites several instances in which Star Tribune reporters were also the target of misconduct by law enforcement, although none is a plaintiff. The Department of Justice also is investigating law enforcement's response to the protests and riots, and Minneapolis is conducting its own review of how its agents... Oh, well, they're conducting their own review. That's great. So, the ones who are wearing costumes, attacking the press, right, marching through the streets, rounding people up that they don't like the color of their skin, right, those are the ones investigating whether or not that they did anything wrong. That's amazing. Isn't that great? I'm glad that we've got such a very, 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 what's the word? Competent agency working on investigating themselves. That's great. I'm super happy about that. The revelations come as Minneapolis police say they're also investigating why officers in the 2nd precinct across the city where the protest took place shredded case files during the riots last summer. Minneapolis police are investigating themselves. This will surely, this is great. I'm glad that they're doing that. Anyway, so folks, these motherfuckers are crazy. Reminder, there's no such thing as a good cop. All cops are bastards, no exceptions. Go fuck them all straight to goddamn hell. That's all I have to say.